Let's talk about money. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about you and that you are the money. Today, I want to talk to you about the three pillars that I really embody and specialize in. Okay. So, if you want to make more money because you know that you are a divine leader of this new earth, let's get right into it. I truly believe that I was born for this and I have mastered my personal soul's challenges. And it's based on three pillars. So I will first speak with you about money and that this truly is my expertise. And then I will speak to you about all of the different components that I learned that all pay onto the account of actually creating more money. Because why I want to talk about it is because I have been at a networking conference yesterday. It was called Global Women. And there were many different women, or there were women from different fields. And I realized that I actually truly I am a master of many fields. I have been on this journey of this educational empowerment, learning journey of working with masters, true masters, for more than 10 years now. And I have been deep, deep, deep in the study. And sometimes I feel a little sting in my stomach when I feel like, okay, I have to niche down. And that's okay. I have niched down. I'm here to help you make money because that's truly my mission, my divine mission. But I believe that the money is the pinnacle of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg. And that's exactly what it is. The iceberg is what I bring to. All right. So let's dive right in. So, number one, let's talk about money and then let's talk about the iceberg. Number one, or let's say one, two, three of building the abundance that you truly desire. Number one is your self worth. Self worth. How much do you really value yourself truly with everything that you bring? And I'm not only speaking about something intangible, but money wise. Like, do you know the value that you bring to an organization, to your clients, to the people that you interact with on a professional level? Number one, self worth. Number two, to answer that question, you have measurements how you can see how much you actually truly value yourself, what you believe that you bring. And that happens, and I say, is it that like that? Okay. I say that this is how you can actually see how comfortable you feel with your self-worth. And that is in sales. Okay? So, as I said, I have been designed to help you make money because I knew that this was my path. I have been in sales now for 10 years and I will speak a little bit about it. Okay. So I have been in sales for 10 years. I made a few notes even because I wanted to share that with you. Okay. Because the thing yesterday, I had a call with a potential client, and then she told me this is something that many people say, right? She told me that the money that I was asking for was her last money. So I could also say that this is a topic of risk, right? A lot of women don't know how to assess risk and really are quite risk averse. And I want to shine some light on this topic, okay? So, investing in yourself, investing in your self worth, investing in your sales skills, and in investing into you being able to generate money, right? Investing into you generating money, how can that be a misinvestment? I don't think it can ever. But therefore you have to be able to assess the risk, okay? So I want to speak about a few things. So I want to say that I have invested, if you're new here, I have invested more than 100,000 euros or dollars. I don't know. Sometimes it was euros, sometimes it was dollars, into my training, into my personal and professional development, including sales skills, right? And my sales skills come from different areas or different genres or whatever you want to say. So I have always been a saleswoman. I always say that I've always been a saleswoman from a young age. I always knew I could bring value. So I started selling my own books and things for money. Then I self-taught. I taught myself how to braid hair. Then I sold braiding hair. Then later on, I got into a kind of like direct sales. I learned how to sell insurances. Then I got into network marketing and I learned how to sell nutritional supplements. Then I got into corporate sales and I sold solar systems. Then I got into another corporate field and I sold systems to companies so they could make more money using our app. A little wink there is I work for Uber Eats. Then I also worked for myself since 10 years as a coach, as a transformational life coach. And I sold my own systems. I sold my own programs or my mentors program. I'm licensed in teaching my mentors framework. So I sold that transformation. I also sold business ideas, right? I sold an idea to my mom and we opened a cafe. Then we sold physical goods, right? We sold food. So I have sold many things, and all in all, probably I've sold more than 10 million, more than 10 million in revenue. So I know a little bit about sales, right? Okay. So what I want to say, what sales truly is, and again, speaking about risk, right? Because the risk of spending your last money onto some support, or also a like a system or solution to solve the problem of you making more money, but maybe even before that, maybe also learning a skill, right? Is that a risk? Question mark. Money, you investing money into support, a solution, or a system that can either help you learn the skill of making more money or that can either make you more money. This whole thing is going to probably take a little time. And when I speak about a little time, it could be as fast as a few weeks or a few months, or maybe even learning the skill. Yeah, it doesn't have to be more than years, but of course you're going to get better and better. So let's even be generous and say it could also take years that you invest into the skill of making more money. Do you think that's a big risk? Is that a truly big risk? That's my question for you. Okay? You think about that. Okay? I personally thought learning everything about ancient wisdom, human nature, evolutionary psychology, the body, the nervous system, about sales, about communication, about helping people make a decision, because that is ultimately what sales is. Really, let's deconstruct sales and separate it from the exploitative system of sales. Let's remove that, because I'm all about ethical, 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 ethical sales. All about ethical sales. I'm all about ethical business. I'm all about ethical business, right? So sales is truly about presenting a person with an opportunity to make a decision for a better life in general. This better life could look like better health. As I told you, I am a nutritionist, and in the past 10 years, right? 10 years, 10 million. Oh, that's interesting. But in the past 10 years, I've sold many different things. Also, transformational programs for nutrition. I have worked with clients helping them gain better health results. So, what you do in sales is to help a person make a decision for a better life. That is an investment. An investment is like a seed that you plant into the earth and that you have to give a little bit of time to gestate. It's called the law of gestation. It's a universal principle. Investments don't sprout the next day. Investment take time to gestate, to root, to grow, to develop, and then to at one point come out of the earth as a little seedling, and then from there on also it needs still tending and protection so it can continue to grow into a fruit tree that you will one day harvest. That is the analogy of an investment. Okay, it will take some time, as I said, days, months, maybe years. Okay, but that is the whole idea of an investment. And that is also what somebody in sales does in high ticket sales, but also high impact sales. People, again, pay for support, for solutions, or for systems that can help them make more money, either faster or in the future more money, or both. Okay, that is very important to understand. And sales, again, ultimately is all about helping the other person to make a decision for a better life, for better health, for better mindset, for a better nervous system, for a more solid business system, for a structure, for clarity, for confidence, for the courage, for information. That's also what people pay for, right? People pay for information to make more money, to have insider information, information that are close to the market, so they can also deploy their skill to make more money, right? That is ultimately what sales is about. It's about helping the prospect make a decision for a better solution. And I have to say that I'm absolutely shocked because, again, yesterday, as I told you, I spoke with this woman, and I'm always shocked again when women do not understand the basic fundamentals of business, but also of life in general. Because, again, we live in a capitalistic system, and I believe that sales and transaction is a necessary skill for women to master. Because this woman said that she's afraid that she's going to spend her last money on a system that I'm going to teach her in order for her to build a skill to make more money. She's afraid that she's going to spend that money and doesn't have money to eat or something like that. Even though I absolutely don't believe that this woman will not eat if she spent this kind of money. But I also understand that she doesn't understand what an investment is. Because the thing is, when people come to me, they didn't know the solution themselves. They didn't know the system themselves. They were lacking the support. They couldn't support themselves. That's why they came to me in the first place, right? So you have to be honest with yourself to understand that you don't know the solution to your problem. You want more money, you need more money. So I'm always shocked to find out when women then say, I don't have the money to invest into something that bring me more money. Or I'm shocked when women say, I don't have the time. Oh my God. I mean, that's the most stupid thing. To be honest, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't have the time. Oh, yeah, if you don't have the time, you are probably going to never have the time. You're never going to have the time. You make time for the things that are important for you. Again, I'm asking you, what is the risk? What is truly the risk? Okay, then women say things like, I have to talk to my husband about that. That has been something in the past. And I was like, okay. And again, if you know me, I'm all about helping not only women make money, but ultimately helping women to be sovereign women. And that means mentally be able to think for yourself, emotionally be able to hold and contain your own emotions, to be physically sovereign, right, and do your things, and also do to be financially sovereign. I'm not speaking about not receiving any help or support, no, but to be able to hold your own. This is what I help women do. Okay, so if you then tell me that you have to ask your husband, this doesn't go with me, because I believe that you, no matter if you're married or not, you will have to make decisions for your own financial future on your own. And I'm not saying that in terms of isolating somebody and then them not having the opportunity to speak about, to speak with their support structure about the things that they are planning to do. No, but ultimately you have to make the decision, because you are going to reap the consequences of your decisions. And that is a true sovereign woman, a woman who takes charge, a woman who is a leader, a woman who has business acumen, a woman who understands this world, right? And a woman who takes charge of her own finances. So please don't come to me saying that you have to ask your husband for making a decision about your own financial future. Again, my question is it a risk to invest in support solution systems that will help you build a skill or directly help you make more money? Is that a risk? What is truly the risk? So, again, I just want to tie back into the example that I encountered yesterday, and that is and important, that is this is an example I have encountered many times in my almost 10 years of sales experience, and especially with women, because I am focusing on women, that women are afraid to make decision when it comes to not only securing their money, because this is maybe something that women do, right? They secure their money in a bank account, or like some very low risk investment, or just not only a portfolio, but just protecting your money, right? But women hardly have the business acumen to invest in skill building that will ultimately bring you more money, meaning investing in growing your money. Investing in growing your money, I believe it's one and the same thing. Investing is about growth. Investing is always about growth. As I said, investing is like a seed. An investment is a seed, and you plant the seed, and here is the soil. And in the beginning, the seed needs to gestate and root down, and then it slowly grows up until it becomes a little sprout, right? And it takes time, but that's where the investment goes. And the more you invest, Of course, it's a law of nature. If you take care of it, it's going to come. So I'm always shocked again to see that women, many times, they don't really, they can't calculate the risk question mark of investing in something, a system, a solution, a support system, a skill that will help them make more money. So what I want to say, just honestly, is that procrastinating, saying you don't have the time now, or saying that you don't have the money now, or asking somebody, even if it's your husband, is showing me that you are slow, that you're slow. And that's okay. I have been there too. But I'm going to be real, because I believe that if you're here and you're still listening, you're somebody who wants to grow. Okay. So always hold yourself up to the standard of, I am responsible for myself. And the most important thing in this life is literally to continue to sustain my livelihood. And that is done with money. Okay, that is done with money. And the more skills you have, the more systems you understand, the more qualified support you have, and the more solutions, of course, you have, the more money you can make. So don't procrastinate. The time is now to make a informed decision. And again, as I said, what sales ultimately is to help another person make an informed decision about whether the product, the solution, the service, the support, the system that I offer as a salesperson is going to help them better their life, whether it is the health, whether it is relationships, whether it is money, or whether it is their skill set in terms of bringing out their gifts, bringing out their talents, bringing out their ideas, bringing out their opinion, their mission, to then create impact not only on a financial level, but also through changing other people's lives. And that's the whole thing. And that's what I want to end with, because I work with leaders and I work with women who want to create impact. And one thing that I can always say is that impact is always connected to money. Because if you want to impact someone else's life, they will have to pay you, right? Either they pay attention, just like you are now paying with your time, your most precious resource. Yeah, where your attention goes, energy flows, and your time and your attention is the most valuable asset, to be honest, right? So that is the impact that I want to make here, right? So I'm giving you value for you giving me your time. And the next thing is that if you really want to learn and take the risk to then create the skill and the ability to create more money for you, right? I will invite you to make a decision, right? Because that is what a good salesperson is. They will help you make an informed decision about the product, the service, the solution that I offer, if that's the right fit for you to create your solution. And I receive the money, and you receive the solution to then, on the other hand, again, also make more money. That is ultimately what it's all about, right? If you have better health, you can make more money. If you have better communication skills and better people skills and better relational skills, you can make more money. If you are clearer on your purpose, if you are more confident, if you are more courageous, if you are more curious, if you are more collaborative, you can make more money. And if you have financial literacy, and I say that what we spoke about today is financial literacy, if you have more financial literacy, you can also make more money. Of course, there are more things that play into financial literacy, but that is for me the first. If you cannot sell, you can never make more money. And if you can't make more money, you don't even have to worry about creating an investment plan on and all of that. You can do that with a little bit of money. But the first thing I believe that you need to focus on as a woman is to be able to sell. And in order to sell, you have to understand what sales really is. And I just broke it down. Hopefully you understood that what sales truly is helping another qualified prospect, help them see what you have to offer, and help them see the value of your solution support system so they can make an informed decision about whether what you offer is going to benefit them in the long run or the short run to make more money, and then again reinvest that into creating a better life on all levels: health, relationships, creative expression, money. It all ties in. And the engine of everything is money. So my question was really, is it then a risk to invest your last money into learning something, getting something that will help you make more money? And I'll leave the question open. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Write down in the comments. Let me know. Answer the question. And if you are ready to really monetize your skills, to monetize your property, your intellectual property, monetize your expertise, your story, monetize your solution, your support, your system, and make the impact on other people's lives that you truly desire by helping them make an informed decision about your product and help them make the transaction because they have to pay you. If you want to learn how that goes, sign up for the original method. We will work on every little thing step by step so you can make money doing what you love. The links are in the description box down below, and I'm looking forward to see you in the application for everyone who's really serious. And until then, remember that you are a force of nature, and I want to see you act like it. And acting like it means taking action and not just consuming content and watching the videos, even though I'm grateful that you do because this was truly an investment. But take action. Take action because a true leader takes decisive action and moves forward. All right? Until then, see you in the next one. Bye.